Hey up everyone, hope you're all doing well. I woke up this morning to Jon Jones tweeting out a boatload of shit involving him saying he gives up the bout. But just before we start going through all of his tweets and see him saying that he gives up the bout, guys, if you want to keep up to date with UFC news, make sure to drop a sub, as I'm always keeping you guys up to date what's happening within UFC. Not only that, but I'm doing a watch along this Saturday for UFC 316 on my Twitch, so if you want to tune along for that, have a bit of a chit chat for the UFC card, make sure to do so. But anyways, let's get straight into the video. So here we have it, the groundbreaking tweet. And remember, you can't strip a guy like me. At this point, I give the bout up freely. I don't know what that means, but yeah, so there we go. He gives the bout up freely. You can't strip him apparently, because you can't strip a guy like Jon Jones. You can't do that. So he gives the bout up. Regardless, we get the outcome we want. He says he gives the bout up. Therefore, we no longer have to deal with his bullshit. No longer have to deal with Jon Jones parading around as the heavyweight champ, the undisputed heavyweight champ. We can finally get on board with the heavyweight division. Tom Aspinall can become champ and defend that title against whoever. But he has put out some more tweets. He doesn't end there. We've got a few more. That is the big one, of course. He gives up the bout. Whether the UFC will announce it soon, you'd imagine so. And considering Tom Aspinall says he's got fight news and a location and yada yada yada, I'd imagine they're going to announce that he's vacated or whatever, and that Tom's going to be fighting for an undisputed title against probably, I don't know, like Cyril Gane or Volkov, the rematch. Either one of those two fights. But he was responding to a lot of tweets. We'll try to get to the ones that actually make a bit of sense. He went on... He said some shit here. That's the problem with some young men. You think your last outcome is your legacy. That's why... many of you fall short. You can't find the strength to return. Your legacy, just a whole lot of yap, really. Just yapping a lot. There's a few ones out here, but you know, like this one, for example. So there's a photo of Tom Aspinall. This is when he's actually looking at Alex Pereira. Someone just photoshopped Jon Jones's face on it. And Jones goes, "I call this photo rent free. Keep the attention of the entire country while doing nothing at all." I'm pretty sure he's rage baiting, because I'm certain he's aware that's not actually him. Surely, fucking, you know, but yeah, I mean, the guy is meant to be Jon Jones is meant to be rent free in Tom Aspinall's head. Tom Aspinall's the interim champion. He wants to fight the champion, who is Jon Jones, you. So, of course, you're going to be rent-free. This is what I never understand. Like, a sort of something to do. This is a bit different. But Kayla Harrison and Juliana Pena saw comments saying, Kayla Harrison's rent-free in Juliana Pena's head. Well, yeah. That's her upcoming opponent. I'd like to think so. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with being rent-free. Like, they're meant to be focusing on their target. You know what I mean? So, and you're the guy who's in front of Aspinall. You're stopping him from becoming champion. He's always said he just wants to become champion. Therefore, you are going to be rent-free in his head. You know, this isn't like a negative... Like, rent-free's got like a very negative tone around it. And in a lot of contexts and aspects, yes, it's a negative thing. But when it comes to fighting, not necessarily when it's the person who you're meant to be fighting. If it's like completely different fighters who have no way of like fighting each other, I can understand. But when you're literally on ahead of the road, well, it makes a lot of sense. What else have we got? He was moaning about Chael Sonnen and DC in their pod, saying that he's beaten both, which is a fact. So, of course, he's saying something about them of having Aspinall on the thingy. I don't think he said anything bad on the podcast, but regardless, yeah. John goes, "No, honestly, I wish Tommy no ill will. He is no threat to me whatsoever." Okay. He should start with just trying to be the best heavyweight of all time, which he has been trying to do by fighting the champion. That goal would be plenty. My career is on a completely different planet, if we're being honest. I don't really hate on any other fighters. I'm usually just responding to their envy. I mean, I feel like you've done a lot more barking than Aspinall has, so I don't really know if that's that you know, fragile ego what comes into play, really. Someone goes to John, goes, "Would Gane beat Tom?" John goes, "Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I see things like this happen all the time. Fighters allow me to become their whole identity. They're so focused on being the man. Meanwhile, the competition is lurking. The big mouth gets bit in the ass." And to be fair, that does happen quite often. Could Gane beat Tom? maybe. Not a strong possibility of it, but possibly. Gorn is talented, but I mean, he's lost like what? Should have lost to Volkov. But anyways. What else does he go on to say? Something about Reyes being mentioned, not really, you know, thingy at the moment. Oh yeah, he made a tweet about Tom getting submitted twice, and of course was wrong because Tom hasn't been submitted twice. So he's had to, you know, trap back on that one, try to play it off like he hasn't trapped back. We get to the tweet when he put out about him, you know, no longer having the bout. He also goes on to say, someone said strip John and Tom both of their titles. Okay. That's an interesting take. Not really. Shit, I'm 37 years old now. My body hurts everywhere from being on. It's funny how Tommy Boy talks zero shit to the studs of his generation. Yeah, I reckon Tom's not talking shit about the competition right now because he's fucking beat them all, John. Why would he talk shit about the rest of the competition if he's already beat them? The only person he hasn't beat, you got what, Jouton Almeida and Gorn. He tried to make the fight of Gorn before he was in the position he's in now, and he's also welcomed open arms to saying he's fight Jouton Almeida. But Jouton Almeida is probably another win away from getting a title shot, and Gorn probably is going to get it next. But again, with the last fight against Volkov, didn't leave a good taste in everyone's mouth. So, you know, he's knocked out Pavlovich. He finished Volkov, finished Blades, finished Tybura. You know, like, what? So why would he be saying anything? The only person he can talk shit about is you, and you get pissy about it. You know, like, what the fuck? And then a big one, how would you defeat Tom? By not even giving him the chance. There we go. Yeah, apparently, you know, later on he said, remember we've just already seen he's saying that Tom's not a threat. Okay, mate. Okay. If this guy wasn't a threat, you would have taken this fight. If you genuinely thought this guy wasn't a threat, you would have taken this fight. If all this buzz was happening and you genuinely didn't think Tom was a threat, you would have taken this fight. It would have been fucking mega money. But no, you haven't. There's a reason for it. You know he's a threat. Don't get me wrong, you could defeat Tom. That's why it's an also interesting fight, by the way. Because genuinely, even though I don't like Jones, and there is people who are delusional about it, he does have a good chance of beating Aspinall the same way there's a good chance that Aspinall beats John. It's like a solid 50-50 fight, in my opinion. And that's what makes it so exciting, why so many people want it. But whatever. Goes on to saying, Duck Boy over here winning and sticking one big fat F you to the haters at the same time. Quack, quack. I don't know why people respond to this, because people responding to it, giving him shit for it. I'm like, when you see tweets like this, just like, why? He's just literally, you're just giving him what he wants, and that is a reaction. It's fair, that's most of John Jones's tweets. He also reveals, I spoke to the UFC a long time ago about what my future plans were. I haven't really worked out since my last fight in New York City. Honestly, I believe it's been in the UFC's best interest to keep presenting me as the company's champion, not Tom. I've just been playing the role of a company man by doing nothing at all and holding a position. And truthfully, it's been incredibly lucrative. I've made more money off of Tom being the interim champ than Tom has himself. It sucks to see the rest of the division get slowed down like this, but that has nothing to do with me. I don't pull the strings. I mean, yeah, I suppose you have been a company man. You have been. But at the same time, being a company man, if you had literally just came out and decided not to be a company man and say, yeah, no, I'm done, guys, the UFC would have no other option than to say, yeah, Tom Aspinall, he is the champion, let's get the ball rolling. But no, you didn't. So it is your fault, you fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Like, he's just really daft in what he says. Almost every tweet he puts out, you can argue against it being contradicting and not being real. You know what I mean? Has nothing to do with fear. That's bollocks. We know this. That's bollocks. But yeah, I can't be asking for many more tweets because again, we'll end on this one. Someone deleted the tweet what he said. Unfortunately, my boy is not as special as his fanbase thinks he is right now. I've seen Tom get tapped out twice, and obviously he backtracked and got corrected on that by two different people. Time will show. Here today, gone tomorrow. I mean, ultimately, that's how fighting works. Fighter who's at his peak and is doing really well is here today, not tomorrow. But, I mean, he is special. He's got, like, the shortest fight time any champion's got, and most people ever had. He is special, and there's a reason why you're not fighting him again. So, you know what? It's just, It's boring. It's done with. There we go. Jon Jones gave up the bout. He's going to continue tweeting out about Tom Aspinall until God knows when. And you know, if Aspinall does lose, he's just going to come out saying, I could have beat him. I could have beat that guy one time, you know? But yeah, what do you guys make of this? Are you happy that Jon has finally vacated? Let me know in the comments. Are you still delusional and think we're still going to get Jon and Tom? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.